Today, we're talking about 3 fat loss myths that prevent people from keeping the weight off. I lost and gained the same 20 pounds over and over, and these are some of the main things that held me back that I still see people doing. The first myth that I ditched is the myth that working up a sweat and feeling a burn means that you had a great workout. I find this to be a huge issue with women's workouts because I obviously fell for it for the longest amount of time. So even when we are weight training, a lot of the time it's like, oh, make it fast-paced, no resting, sweat as much as possible, go, 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 go. And that's actually not the most optimal way to see the results you may be looking for. The other issue is that these workouts often include random variations of the basic compound movements that really aren't as effective as their original counterparts. Pretend you're trying to be able to do a chin-up without any assistance. Well, imagine doing a chin-up after running around and doing a bunch of push-ups and skipping rope and lunges and kickbacks. Like, no, you'd be fried. You'd be exhausted. Instead, you would want to do your set and then take some rests and then do the next set. And that'll allow you to actually build the strength to work up to chin-ups. What we're really focusing on is training smarter, not harder. So why does this affect your fat loss? This is because as you're gaining strength, you're going to be efficiently building muscle, and at equal body weight, a stronger body with muscle is leaner and smaller because muscle takes up less space than fat. And when you have muscle, your body burns more calories at rest. So even though it may feel counterproductive at first, by dropping down my workouts to 4 times a week and actually doing less in my workouts and no longer doing those silly variations of movements that you see on your Instagram Explore page that don't actually work as well, I saw better results because I was really able to recover and get stronger. But a key thing that you do want to remember is that even though we're trying to focus on progressive overload, you're not going to feel stronger every workout, and you're definitely not going to feel strong every single week of the month. So after this video, go check out my video that talks more about that. It's called How to Train Around Your Period, Lose More Fat, Gain More Muscle. Myth number 2 is that your calorie intake only needs to be based on your height, weight, age, and gender. A huge reason I struggled for so long was because the calories I was eating weren't right for me. I thought that using a calculator and just following that would suffice, but it really didn't, because it's near impossible to get the calorie count correct on day 1. You can't just take a calculation and run with it because everyone has a different metabolic rate. Your body isn't like a simple machine that you can just feed inputs and expect predictable outputs. You can have a general idea of what'll happen, but 1 + 1 won't always equal 2. Maybe it might be 2 most of the time, but sometimes it'll be 5, and sometimes it'll even be -3. And the reason why is because your body isn't in a static state. Many things are going to affect it, and your calorie needs are going to change over time because of that. So it can depend on muscle mass, activity level, fitness level, stress, tons of different things. So that's why it was a huge benefit to work with an experienced coach, because they can help you make these proper adjustments and not just have to guess and follow a calculator blindly. Now, in my last video, I mentioned that I increased to about 2,000 calories, and the other big change I made was not meticulously tracking macros anymore. Up until this point, I would be so obsessed that if I didn't know the exact macros of a meal, I wouldn't eat it. Like, even just like knowing the calories alone wasn't enough. I had to know every last macro, whereas nowadays that's changed. I track my protein and I track my calories, and I do it loosely. It's not so rigid where everything needs to be perfect, and that's what I highly recommend. Obviously, your calories matter. If you want to lose fat, you have to be in a deficit, but that doesn't mean it needs to be strict and having you glued to MyFitnessPal all day. If you like the idea of non-stressful, fun fat loss, hit the like button and let me know in the comments your thoughts and your experiences on this as well. I go into a lot more detail about these myths in my free report, Knockout Body Formula. This is a 39-page report that tells you everything you need to know about nutrition, workouts, plus some killer tips I live by that you can utilize to stay on track no matter what life throws your way. And if you don't have time to sit and read it, there is an audiobook version that comes with it too. Hit the link in my description box below to get your free copy. Woohoo! Myth number 3 is the controversial one. So it's that wanting to change how your body looks is always a negative thing. And that's just not true. You know, there's my before pictures where I had a sad face and people will be like, oh, well, that's like rude to say that you were sad just because you looked that way, blah, 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 blah. But it's like, I didn't go back in time and change my face to suit what I think I should feel, you know? Like, that's truly how I felt. And that's because when I show a transformation picture, it's only showing a very small portion of the situation. It's not about which one looked better, because if you think living a healthy lifestyle only comes with aesthetic benefits, then you are missing the entire point. When I'm making a transformation, it's about feeling my best, having high energy levels, feeling clear-headed, creative, focused, actually wanting to be around people, feeling proud of my behaviors and actions every single day. So if I was feeling that way and doing all those healthy behaviors, then it wouldn't actually matter if I still looked like the before picture, because I would feel healthy as well. So in terms of this relating to how I adjusted my routine to see results, is really just going into this with a completely different mindset, rather than being like, okay, I want to lose this weight in 8 weeks, like I have to be my best in 8 weeks from now. Well, then if I slipped up on a weekend, I'd be upset about it because there wasn't room to slip up. Whereas now I'm just like, okay, this is my lifestyle. This is what I'm doing forever. So if you mess up one weekend, it's not like, oh my gosh, I ruined everything. I'm not going to be skinny for summer. It's like, no, I'm doing this for my whole life. So one weekend I messed up a little bit. That's okay. We're just going to get back on. So that's the best way to look at it, because when you do that, things will start to shift and you'll actually find that you can see results and feel fit all of the time. All right, and that is going to conclude this video. Don't forget to hit the link in the description box below for your free copy of my report, Knockout Formula. It also comes with a free audiobook. Woohoo! Stay tuned for my next video, which will be a follow-up to this one. We're doing like a little mini fat loss series, and that's it. I will see you guys next Friday. Bye!